What you're seeing right now is actual footage of the game df.io, except in first person. This is what a tank would see in this game. You'd see all the shapes as weird lines. Everything, in fact, to be seen as these weird lines, like including the bullets, which I'm firing right now. Here's a pentagon, squares, triangles, all these strange line shapes, or the tank would see, assuming this is a 2D world, of course. They're just 3D from a top-down perspective that changes the game entirely. And whoops, I died there. It is really impractical and difficult to play, though, so wouldn't recommend this for people who actually want to play, and might create a version that's actually good to play. You know, it might even be effective if you're using snipers, because you aim directly at things much more easily, I think. I mean, I might be wrong, and this might be an even worse way of playing them. And whoops, I died again. So you might be wondering how this works, and I had a really terrible explanation of it in a video I did a lot earlier, so I think I'll try to make a better one for this video. So the technique it actually uses is called raycasting. What it basically does is it takes the df.io screen that you'd see normally, and then it copies it onto another image. And then it takes this image and creates a bunch of lines that are projected out from the center. And when these lines intersect a shape or anything that isn't black, the line will stop, and then the corresponding bar will be drawn with its height based on the distance. If it's closer, the bar will be larger. If it's farther away, the bar will be smaller. You can see that right now as I'm going closer to and going away from a square. I'll add a visualization in this video that'll go more in depth into this raycasting technique. And the raycasting was actually quite easy. Wasn't much of a problem implementing it. The real problem with this is actually the controls. For a while I actually stagnated on this project because I had no idea how to implement controls. The first problem is the mouse. For a while I actually did not know how to control the mouse position because obviously this wouldn't work if you control the mouse position the way you normally would. The mouse would end up moving in a circle. That's how you'd have to turn. You'd have to move in a circle, whereas with first-person shooters, you should just be able to move left to right to turn. But I eventually found out how that worked, so that solved that problem, I guess. And the keyboard, though, that was also a big pain, because the df.io tanks could only naturally move in 4 directions, up, down, left, and right, using the W, A, S, and D keys. The only solution I found is just to alternate between keys, depending on what direction you're in. So if I was moving at a diagonal angle, it would literally be rapidly pressing each key and spamming them over and over again in order to move like that. Is it a ridiculous and crude solution? Yes, but it works, somehow. And by the way, I also have to say that I'm using the T, F, G, and H keys, not the W, A, S, and D keys. By the way, they form the same, T-shaped pattern, or upside-down T-shaped pattern that you see with W, A, S, and D, so they're kind of just an analog of them in a way. This game works using this concept called raycasting. What it's essentially doing is creating these lines that move in only one direction, called rays, and they're starting around the tank. The tank is surrounded by all these rays. They're being sent outwards in all directions. And then they normally are transparent to the background. In other words, they don't touch the background, they just completely ignore the black background. However, if they touch a shape, they basically intersect with it, and that's what creates the bars. So as you can see, if I face the square over here, it also appears in the center. Likewise with this square, and this one, and this one, and these bullets too. So you can probably kind of already see how this works. The bars that are bigger are the ones that are closer. It's a concept that was employed in a lot of early 3D games, like Doom, which was actually 2D. So yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching.